Okay, so what we need to do first is download our reference information. So I'm going to go ahead and download this DWG. And I'm going to also, we have a new survey. I have to update the survey. Sorry about that. Save link as. I'm going to put this in my folders to work cleanly. I think I've already done it, but I'll demonstrate that. So I'm going to my coach's corner, working drawings and X reference, and now I'll just put this in his survey. It's already here for me, but you would save it as survey 8. And then last is going to be the PDF, this reference. So save link as, same thing. Yeah, it's actually X reference support. All right, I have it. I changed the name to X dash demo plan, but that's fine. Just save it here somewhere so we can reference it. And kill that. Oh, there we go. So once that's done, I will open up that file. Let me kill this one since this one's open. Okay, I'm gonna re-reference stuff, so open my external X references. Here. Okay. Go to my title block. I'll say no so we can keep on doing these. We can do it again just to show you this week 8. So I'm going to go here to save path. Click on those. And coach's corner, my parent file. Working drawings. This is my X reference sheet. So then my survey we can. That'll pop in. I'll say no. You can say yes, and if it's all in the same area, it'll go. I'm just doing this so we can see it several times. Coach's corner set for reference. Where did I put this one at? So this is going to be here, same thing. Oops. And then working drawings, references, and I call that really just demo plan. Boom. All right. So now we are ready to rock and roll. So now I don't have a viewport here, and what we need to do to make sure that our views are consistent is we'll copy a viewport, the viewport from our previous sheet. So notice now again we only have one sheet per drawing or per file. So I'm just going to do a Control O because I want to make well. Before we do that, let's see what's going on in model space. Okay, so everything is kind of as it should be. I should have an LAS on this thing too. That will allow you to go to demolition plan, and then which is cool, and then I've already set some layer properties for you in that way, and then I'll just turn off this for a second because we don't need it. Okay. So yeah, so what I've done is for my layer properties in this instance, to save us some time, for my X references, and I'll leave my X reference is going to be my survey, I've just set the transparency to 30%. For some of this, or for a lot of it. Well, and actually, it looks like I set it to 40% and didn't change these. Let me change these. So I did this basically here. Let me make this 40. I think that 40 ended up looking better than I printed. Again, I didn't, and I was careful not to touch the items that I wanted to highlight, which was the plant, really the shrubs, because they're going to be removed in this demolition plan. So I just, playing with layer control and how things look visually is how I set this thing up, and everything was set to red too to make everything thin and kind of easy to read. So now that I've done that, actually what I'll do is type in my LAS and we'll update this LAS. So I will update that so it's set again. Cool. Close. Q. So that works. Now what we want to do is make sure we have a viewport that we can see this thing. Because again, I didn't copy the viewport over intentionally, so we can see how to do this from drawing to drawing. So what I'm going to do is do Control O to open up another drawing. I'm going to navigate to Coach's Corner. and we'll just grab the layout plan that we did. Okay, in this instance, I'm just going to ignore that. I really just want the coordinates and the information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clipboard and copy with base point. And I'm just going to come back here and clipboard and just paste and put that bad boy here. And when you do that, it should also bring over the view information. Now my title block is not associated, so I'm going to click on this, not title block, but my scale. And here I'm going to say link to viewport and just click that viewport to make sure that it's associated appropriately. Bam. My REA, because that is a hidden line on that land effects property, and there you go. So now you make sure that, and that way you can make sure your views are exactly the same from sheet to sheet and not have things that are shifting around. Okay, that's all I needed that layout plan for, so I'm going to go ahead and just close that out and just say no. And I am going to do a control, well, it should already be saved. I'm going to make sure it's saved in the appropriate place, so save as. Shouldn't be in your downloads. This should be in your desktop. Coach's Corner, working drawings, and I'm going to call this demolition plan. I will update my relative paths. Bang. Okay. So now we're working. Now what we need to do is look at the information that we need to portray in this. So I'm just going to reference the reload so we can see it. Oops, wrong one. Can't use this one. Okay. Actually, let me see what was going on with that. Why was that off? Okay, the view was changed for this one. Coach's Corner. Set for reference. Okay, sorry. So what I need to do is actually I had to change the view for this, so that's why that's not working. Let me actually go to my, I should have been there. I'll call that demo plan. I put it in my downloads. Here, let me do that again, actually. Sorry. Where is that? Let me just do the save link as and put it in there as that, so it's different. And just because it's a different view I had to capture. And then bland, but this is a good way to demonstrate how fast and easy NYX references are. Definitely the way to go. Boom, there you go. That's what we want to see. Okay, so I'm going to grab that and then display order, send it back. You shouldn't have had that issue, but it should have lined up. I just had it reference to the incorrect drawing. So now I send it to the back so we can kind of see what we're working with and what we need to get rid of, or demonstrate that we're going to get rid of. So I'm going to type in LA, put myself on a layer. I'm going to say that all non-X reference layers. I already created a surface demo hatch layer for you, so just make sure you're on that. The labels will appropriate when we they'll put themselves on the correct layer when we start using them. Neo, I'll just hit my PL, and it looks like from this this banding basically there, just kind of coming down. It looks like to here, and I could have used my point hatch, but we'll just straight lines. We'll just trace this one. Boom, and then boom. There you go. Okay. Looks like an area to me. And then they're doing another little area over here where it's saying new pavement to be removed. So just from this line, because he didn't give me a dimension necessarily, but I'm assuming to this is going to be that, and I'll show this with the using hatch tool differently. So I have that, and then also this area, we know that that's going to be removed as well. Okay, so now I have that information. Don't worry about those two hatch types. I'm going to unload this again so I can see a little bit easier. And then, friend, I'm going to, and really all this gets removed too. My line should have popped up, that band gets taken away. So in this instance, I guess I will show, and let me lay freeze, just because I want to be able to drop a hatch in there. And let's do these hatches. So I'm going to talk about the area of the concrete to be removed. So I'm going to hit hatch, and I am going to go with a this Annie 132, sure. And I'm going to use pick points. So I'll have this. Oops. Oops. That must be a break. Okay. Good to see to fix that line. It must have been. And let me delete that one. Let me just do a lay freeze on these lines right now, so it's just easier to see. To get to those pieces, this one too, it's probably going to be an issue. So I'll get rid of that right now. And that right now. And that right now. Okay. Now I will use my hatch. And that looks good. So that is going to be a hatch. That's going to be a hatch. And I believe that's going to be a hatch. I don't like that though. Uh-oh. Why don't you like that? So we're going to assume it doesn't like that. And try to escape out. Okay. Let me just do this top piece and do it separately though. Boom. And then let me come in here and try to get this thing, see if this works now. Okay, that's much better. All right, so that's going to be my areas to remove in that concrete. I'm just going to double check that. Reload. Yep. Yeah, that whole thing should have been removed. Boom. And then this new pavement area. Okay. I just need that line to be, and that figures out. Just so I can see this right now, and I'm going to do another hatch, and I'll change this one. We'll make this one there, and I just need to change the scale of it. Maybe it's like 8. That looks good. Maybe this one's a little big too. Or small. Maybe that one's more like 3 or something. Or like 2. So I'll get a similar scale. It needs to be different enough though so you can distinguish. Also, if I wanted to change the angle or something, you could always kind of modify the angle a little bit. Doesn't matter. On that one, just so you're consistent. That's fine. Yeah, I'll get it. Okay. That's that. And what I want to do now is worry about my labels. So I'm gonna type in my LAS to bring it back to that state to have my other information on. And the hatch layer should stay on too. So that's nice that it does that. And I'll actually get rid of this outline, so I don't need that. Okay, I need that because what was that cut part? I need to make sure that it looks distinguishable. Okay, boom, boom. All right, so now I want to worry about my labels, and let me see my labels again because I don't remember. So I'll reload. Okay, So a couple of things. We're going to do this fencing, and I'll actually create a layer for that. This is tree protection, so I will call this new, and this is going to be L, and I'm going to call this one surf demo. I'm going to call this tree protection fencing. Alright, and I'm going to make this, I'll make it yellow so I can just see. And the line type for this one, I'm actually going to load a line type and see if I can't find a little fence. So we'll do this little square fence. And I'll say okay. Alright. So now I will attempt to do these, almost like these arcs for this. Really, it's a pile line, so they're starting here and coming over. So PL, I'm going to come here to the building line, it looks like, and just come out. And it looks like your arcing direction is this way. And I want to come to that. And just try to bring this thing around. And we'll worry about that scale or modify it. Not giving me specific radii, so I'm just doing trying to ride that center. I'll come back and mess with this in a second. Boom. And back to L straight line. Bam. And then just hit in there like that. Okay. And that would be something right there in the center. Boom. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, and now I'll just, of course, adjust the scale, of course. I'm not saying it properly. That type scale is, we'll make this like 0.5. And maybe even smaller than that. Maybe it's like 0.3. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. I want to actually have it read like a fence, so I think that looks better to me. Cool. So now what I want to worry about are my labels. So I'm just going to go to my FX site. I'm going to do a leader. Leader with text. It's going to give me some options. I think. There we go. And I don't want to mask, that's fine. And then I'll go to, where was our tag? So here's one, just talking about that new pavement to be removed. So I'll have this, and I want to use the aerial. Maybe this is aerial. Aerial 8. Oh, cancel. So aerial 8, and just say okay. And come on here. And this just says new pavement to be removed. Bam. And then of course you can always double click in here and new pavement to be removed. Okay. So one tag. And what's another one? Tree protection. I'm gonna run this in here. I'll go here, here. So this one's just tree protection. And if I wanted to make these smaller too, maybe. Just think that reads better. Okay, to be removed. This is just a new thing. We got tree protection, fencing. Okay. What else do I have? Is it all the labels that I see initially? Boom, boom, boom. I think so, Captain. All right. Now I need to worry about these note tags. So something similar. We're just going to use the M leader. And I might have made a style for you already, but we'll go to M leader style and just see. Yeah, I did. So notes, and we'll just modify this so you can look at it. But the content is going to be the block and the circle style, and the scale again is 10. And leader format was the 1.5. I'll just stay with that. So I'll say OK. I'm on the notes. I'll say close, and then I'll just M leader. Before I do that, I'll make sure that I'm on the right labels layer. I should have put it on the LA leader. There you go. And then I'm going to say lay and curve to put myself on that layer. And then I'm going to do these M leaders and add these tags. Just start with this, and we'll call this one 11. This, we'll call this one 8. 7 must be tree protection fencing. Okay. 5, I'm just checking these things to make sure existing magnolia. Okay. I think that would be obvious. It's okay. This is 4. Okay. Using the right view. I'll put mine right here. Fancy with it. They're double. These things, maybe 7. So some labels will be redundant, and that's okay. You're trying to hit that 10 right there. And I'm going to hit you dead center. And actually, I'm going to do another little thing to this. And I'm going to go into annotate. And this is, I'm going to add later. I'm going to do that right there instead. And then I'm going to go to later. What's it? It was 5. What is 5? 5 is existing magnet. Why is it not touching it? 5. She should hit center point. I think. That's just me. Existing hollies. They did leave notes on this one. Why not just tag? Yeah. And this is not even 5. It's existing. This part. Why do you have? Okay. It's not a magnolia though, dude. That's a existing to remove this part of tally. That's not a magnolia. Jesus. I'm gonna remove this tag because that's not a magnolia. That's our oak. So if that tag is accurate, then well, how about this? Why this is a new tag? Well, this is a challenge. Way looking at things. So that's not a magnolia. That's an oak. So I'm going to add a tag. So if 5 says existing magnolia tree to be removed as part of tally project, and I'm just going to say that maybe this is a 12 instead. Well, that'd be a good way to add a note. This is going to be relatively short. Okay, well, add that as 12. This one is 10. I have that. I need a 2. Leader. And this is going to be a 2. It's the easiest way to see that. Just say this is a 2. And this is a 1. And that is a 3. Ooh, something like that. I need to come over a little bit, but yeah, you get what I'm trying to do here. Just trying to be clean. Boom, and then everything like that could only like right there. You know, could use this as a spacer even. Just eyeballing it, and it feels good. Boom, boom, boom. 2 feet. Done 2 feet, but 2. Let's 2. Get that. They have another 2 there, but I think that's obvious. So I'm gonna let them ride. Maybe I won't. We'll just add that because and then up here, you want this to be a 2 as well. And just call that 2 as well. So you're kind of right in the center, and you're kind of seeing it going down a little bit. There you go. And if I really wanted to do it, I don't know why. Yeah. I could always like really take it to the next level. Oh, look how close I was. Alright. Bam. What else? I got them 9s right there too. Got them 9s right there. It'd been nice if they'd had a hatch on that initially for existing conditions. This is 9. I don't like that. I like it. It's like that. Yeah. Yeah. It could just be a little tag. Yeah. Yo. Okay. Let me take out that. That was messing me up. Okay. This looks good. I believe that is that. Alright, this is a reference just to see it cleanly in blank, and I think that looks good. I'm gonna delete this one too. You don't need that. Really can detach both of them once you're done. I'm gonna unload this though, so we can see what we've done. It's cool. And I do know that I also want to make for my LAs, I'm on that magenta layer for all non-use, so it's my hatch. And you know, we can make that red. It pops out. Okay. It's looking pretty tight to me. Now we added that note 12, and let's talk about that and handle that. So I'll come back here now. And then realize that that fencing line is way too heavy. So I'm going to go here, and magic number is 1. It looks clean to me. And I'm going to add a 12 note because that is a pin oak, man, right? Pin oak. I'm pretty sure that that is a pin oak, not a magnolia. So on this here, I'm just gonna drop this in. I'll call that. Ooh. Why didn't make that a 12? There you go. Existing what you do. There you go. See if you're paying attention. Okay. And that looks pretty good to me. I can distinguish between those hatches. I can see that. That's the same. Yeah. Now we can Control P this. Control P. And this is going to be my demolition plan. And where you should be putting these things to, and I haven't been showing you all this, but you should, is this can go into your application files, into your PDF. So, and then save. Let's make sure it always looks clean, so I'll just kind of do it like that. See this thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Demolition plan. Make sure also I didn't put my date on, so I can go back and change that and make sure you go do it right. Close this out. Real quick fix. I can come back in here and update my date. So today is 02-27-2, and this is drawn by WCH and reviewed by GOD. Okay, and then I'll just Control P. Just gotta have fun with things, guys. Okay, and then this is gonna be that. I'll just save this over here because I want it to be clean. Boom, and then you would upload that to Blackboard. You'd upload that to Blackboard. Okay, and then I'm gonna Control save this, and that is your demolition plan. If any questions, just let me know.